Welcome to another day with Mazzy. Right, today, what are we up to today? We never know what I'm up to. It's always, I can go from one thing to another. Right, today I'm going to make a homemade quiche. Dan's gone off a trail camming, and I'm thinking if I can get a homemade quiche on the go, it's there then, isn't it, for snacks and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is just cook off a couple of slices of bacon. It's going to be like a quiche Lorraine. So all homemade, apart from the base. So I'm just going to chop this up into tiny little bits. Let me see if I can bring you down a little bit. Oh, you're stuck. Oh, you're stuck. So in the meantime, I am actually making a stew for Dan. And I've just made homemade dumplings to go with it as well. Homemade stew and dumplings. So I've said to him he can have that tonight. So I'm just going to put this into tiny little bits. I think 2 rashers will be plenty. Now I used to always make a homemade quiche, and I do actually have my own recipe, but I can't remember it. I have got it on my phone somewhere, but I'm sure I used to cook mine. So I've looked this one up, and this is just a quick, easy quiche. And I'm sure I used to do it in a saucepan, I'm sure I did. But anyway. So I'm going to leave the rind off because I can't see that browning in the time that I'm wanting it to. But we'll trim all that good meat off it. So that's all this scud. That's all I'm throwing away, all the scuddy bits. There's no point in trying to cook that. Now I know quiche Lorraine is a bit boring, but I know Dan likes it. I can add all sorts of, I might even put some onions maybe even, and a couple of mushrooms on top or something. Yeah, I might actually do that. Let me chop up an onion and stuff. I've got a few mushrooms left over from the stew, so that'll be handy. Now I wasn't going to film. I said to Dan, I ain't filming, I ain't doing nothing today. Because we've just had a busy day today. But as he's gone, I feel like I want to cook. And believe it or not, I used to actually cook all the time. But since being with Dan, I don't know, he's one of these that just, it's like feeding a child sometimes. He would prefer to have, you know, TV dinners basically. Rubbish out of the freezer. And God help us if we ever go to Iceland. That's one of his favourites. Right, so I'm going to, but not this week. Absolutely not this week. So I'm going to lightly fry off some mushrooms as well, actually. With that, just chuck it all in. I'll do one more mushroom. It's only a small little pie case, and yes, I haven't made it. I bought it from the shop. Thank you, Tesco's. So this could be quite a lot of filling for this. Yeah, I don't want to overfill it really, do I? I'll just do one more mushroom. There we go. Let me bring you a little bit closer. That scuddy spoon is actually from the stew and dumplings, which is cooking at the minute. Yeah, I made my own homemade dumplings, which I used to always make as well. Anyway, homemade dumplings, I mean from scratch with the suet and everything, but I don't have suet in the house. So I was looking up, because I forgot about dumplings, putting dumplings on it. So I was looking up, how can I make dumplings without suet? And apparently it's dead easy, just use butter. So yeah, I've got a replacement. Hopefully that'll turn out alright. We'll soon see. I'll show you that in a minute, because I've got to actually take that out in the oven in a minute and just check on it. Right, I'm just going to do a small little bit of onion. I've got a small onion. I'm going to chop this up finely though. just give that a stir. I mean, it's going to get baked anyway. I just don't want to be putting raw ingredients in there. It's not going to be very nice, is it? Now, usually I'd use a little paper plate for a little chopping board, but I haven't. Why haven't I? I should have done. I've just been chopping all corn and stuff up, ready for Dan, and carrots, ready for Dan to go over with his trail cam. Right, let's get rid of that. That's the centerpiece. Right, let's just chuck that in. Finely, lightly, I mean, not finely, lightly fry that off. I'm only lightly frying all this off. And actually, it's probably nearly ready, so I'm just going to give that a minute or two with the onions. So I'm relying on a recipe that I've never used before for this quiche, because to find my original one, I don't know where it is. So I hope it's going to turn out okay, and it'll be a nice little snack for Dan. Come an evening, he do get packaged. Let me just say, for instance, last night, what time was it? Can't even remember what time it was. About midnight, I was making him a pot noodle. All this rubbish food. But yeah, he do get packaged of an evening. Right, just going to let that lightly fry. Actually, that's a bit high. Let me turn that down. So there is a bit of a storm on its way. Oh no, I've just broke it. Oh no, I've just broke it. Yeah, there's a little bit of a storm on its way, so hope Dan gets back before the rain. It has poured down already, and the awning literally is like blowing all over the place. Yeah, I've just broke it a little bit. Oh, never mind, never mind. Right, so apparently for this recipe, let me just stir this. But I'm going to turn that off. Let me just show you. I think this is more than enough. It's going to get baked anyway. Alright, so that's going to stay hot in there anyway. Yep, so for this recipe, apparently you need, oh no, I need to go in my bread bin. Oh no, this isn't an easy task. Let me just try and get in the bread bin. Yeah, apparently anyway you need 6 eggs, but I've only got 5, so that'll be fine. I'll make it stretch. 6 eggs and 3/4 cup of milk apparently. Oh, nice one. These are just cheap eggs. Nothing fancy. They're all different sizes. Look at the size of that one. That's a bad boy. Jeez, that's a bad. There, see? That makes up for my 6 egg then, doesn't it? Because that's massive. Oh my gosh, that seems like a lot of mixture. Well, I need to wipe that because I can't work with that. Ooh. Let me just get some kitchen towel. Yeah, and then 6 eggs, 3/4 cup of milk. Bake it in the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes. Keep an eye on it, so to say. Oh, that's a mess, isn't it? Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, it's disgusting. Alright. So I'll mix that up. Pour some milk into that. I don't want to pour too much really. I think it's going to need more than that though. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Sure that'll be fine. Right, let's get these ingredients in here. So to stop your crust from, obviously this is pre-made, so to stop your crust from browning, apparently you wrap foil around the edges. So we'll go with that. Right, cheese. So you need to add cheese. I'm just going to grate it straight into that. Hope for the best. I might actually chop a mushroom up for decoration on top as well. Personally, me, I'd like slices of tomato and all sorts, but Dan wouldn't. So, or asparagus, stuff like that, you know. Oh, I love quiche like that. The real posh ones you can get. Right, there we go. So now I'm going to pour my mixture on top of that. It's probably too much, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's probably about right actually. Well, no, it's getting a bit much. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to waste that one. I'm going to slice a mushroom on top of that, just for, you know, decoration. Let's do this one very thinly though, so it cooks properly. Isn't that looking posh? Now, I'm not adding salt to nothing. Need to cut down on salt, so... Oh, no, I'll say that actually. Me and Dan really doesn't eat salt. We really don't eat salt. The only time I sort of add it is maybe if I'm doing potatoes, putting a jacket potato in the oven, or doing mash. Then I'll add, you know, a little bit of salt to that. Now, how was that looking? Right, so apparently now that just needs baking for 40 to 50 minutes. I think that's filled plenty. I could probably get a little bit more in. I don't want it spilling everywhere. Right, that's it. That's all I'm chancing. Right, so to get this in, I have to get the stew out the oven. Let's tidy up first. Put my cheese away. Oh, see, look, it's leaking. Oh, that's all I needed, isn't it? I knew it. Never mind. I need to wrap that in foil anyway to protect the crusts. So before I get it in the oven, I'm actually going to wash up and make some space on my worktop. And I've got to make the space to get the stew out the oven, which should be ready now. But if it's a little overdone, Dan don't mind anyway. He likes his food sort of overdone anyway. Hopefully this quiche will turn out all right. We'll have to see, won't we? Yeah, the weather's picking up out there. It's awful. It's actually awful. And I was supposed to be sewing the awning today, because one of our tie down things to keep it grounded basically is broke. But when we got home from shopping, it was starting to rain, so I thought there's no way on earth I'm sitting out there, not sitting but standing out there sewing that. Not in the rain. Right, all cleared up. I'm just going to move the quiche out the way. Let's get this stew out the oven. This is proper done. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, it looks nice. It's proper well done. But that's how Dan likes it. Yeah, looking maybe slightly a little overdone. But that's because I have put this in the oven quite a few hours ago now, and I mean it looks nice underneath. But that's Dan's tea tonight. He was going to have stir fry tonight, but I can't be doing that tonight now as well as that. So I'm going to get that off there. Hold on. I need to get this off here and then get the quiche in the oven. Yeah, it's a little overdone if I'm honest. It was neglected. It generally was. Right, let's see how this is going to turn out. So I'm going to give this, I might just put a sprinkling of pepper on that though. Just a little bit. Pop that in the oven. Now I don't know if it needs to be done nice and slow, as my oven's been on for hours, which I've got a story about that actually. So anyway, my oven is really hot. But yeah, let me tell you, I don't think Dan has mentioned it and I haven't mentioned it, but I think it was last night or the night before. I made dinner and it was all hunky-dory. Thought, you know, you have these moments, you turn things off, you're getting into bed. Next thing, I nodded off anyway. 5 hours later, woke up. Oh, it was the night Dan had jacket potatoes. He asked me to put 10 on instead of just like his usual. Well, I put 3 on for him for that night's dinner, but he asked me to put a few extra on, so I put about 8 on or something like that. 5 hours later, woke up, the fan was as stuffy as anything. I'd left the oven on basically. So not only have I wasted all the gas for 5 hours, which he said 5 hours, but I don't think it was because I worked it out. I didn't nod off for that length of time. And he'd nodded off as well, so. But the jacket potatoes, the extra jacket potatoes were no good as well. So that wasn't good. Yeah, hey ho. We all do these silly things sometimes, don't we? I always remember once, a little story for you. I always remember once my mother had put the saucepan on to boil some potatoes for some mash or something. And she must have gone upstairs anyway, and she nodded off. This is like, you know, evening, you know, 7 us up our kids' meals at 5, 6 or whatever time it was. She'd nodded off anyway. Or it might have been later than that actually, I don't know. But all I know is that when she woke up, the house was full of smoke, no one could breathe, and it was it boiled dry basically, and the potatoes was knackered, and I think the saucepan were knackered as well. So, you know, these things happen. I'm sure we've all done it once or twice. So I just want to go back to the stew. Oh yeah, it's looking dry, isn't it? To be honest, I was watching to how much liquid I put in that one today, and now realising I haven't put enough liquid in. I was supposed to be freezing a tub of that up, but hey ho. He'll have it for tea tonight and then maybe picket it a bit later on as well. If not, he'll have it tomorrow. I don't think I put enough liquid in that. Not at all. Right, so 40-50 minutes. I've turned the oven down to about 4. I don't know, I'm just winging this one if I'm quite honest. Don't even know what the ingredients are going to turn out like, but yeah, I'm just winging it. I just need to show you this. It's calmed down for a second. Literally the awning is ooh. This side is definitely going to collapse in because it does. It's weakened there, and that's where the string is detached on the other side. Yeah, it's been a little bit scary sitting out here all afternoon. It's like, ah! I can hear thunder. Dan's over there. Let's just hope he makes it back before the big rain. This awning, this has been collapsing in on me. The whole sides, everything is just shaking. It's really hard to show y'all. Look at it. But this side will collapse, like I said, because it's not tied down now at that end. I can see this going up in the air tonight. Right, so I've just remembered as well, I didn't put foil around the cross. So what I'm going to do is let it bake for, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. Get the crust crusty, because Dan would like that, and then put foil on it. Ah! Ah! I'm being attacked by the awning. See that? See that? Not lying. I'm not joking, it's collapsing in on me. So I'm going to have to push that up. It's scary. Ah! Oh my god, it's actually getting worse. Yeah, Dan did say we're going to get high winds today. I can breathe. I'm trying to edit. You know, behave. Just editing. I need to go out and just check on this. Right, so we have actually put that laying flat because it was putting more pressure up against that. Look, you can hear me in there, but this is what I'm talking about. Look, this is broke. Oh man, it's getting windy today. Look at the sky, look. It's gonna go in it, it's gonna go. It's scary in there though, I'll tell you, it's scary. I said to Dan, I ain't filming, I ain't doing nothing today. I'm editing, that's me. I'm just scared. Disaster. The barbecue's gone over. Oh my heavens. What has happened? It's all this. It's caved in and it's actually knocked all this over. Oh dear God. I don't know where he is, but he's off playing somewhere. Look at the state of it. I've got a guest here at the moment. We have a little dog called Gizmo, which is so cute. Oh, what was that? Oh, there goes my shed. Oh my God, it's all happening. It's all kicking off. Oh my heavens. What's happening here? Oh my God, I can't shut it. Nope, it's stuck. Let me just stick you up there for a second. It's all kicking off. Oh my heavens. Well, I don't know how that happened. That's probably Dan gone in there for some bird food and left it open. It's your fault, babe. Well, I'm just going to quickly check on me quiche. It's about halfway. Let's have a look. Okay. It's not looking great, but it looks all right. We'll go with it. It's starting to look like an omelette, isn't it? I don't know about this recipe. Mine used to be the nuts. Let's go with it. Stick it back in. Maybe I've got it a little bit too high.
What? Hello?
Oh, you're home. Dan's home. Yeah, we've got a guest here and Dan don't know.
What's going on here?
Barbecue, literally, it's just flown everywhere, babe.
Oh dear.
And then the garage flew open. Right, this is... Oh, it's definitely done. Okay, maybe I've left it in a little bit too long. Again, I've got carried away, you see. With people coming round and Dan coming home and stuff like that. Right, I'll show you it. We'll just have to hear Dan's verdict on it tomorrow. But he will like it like this. So I'm not too bothered. There's no point in... Yeah, no, that's cooked all the way through. So I'm just going to leave that there to cool down. Absolutely tipping it down now. Right, so I've cut a slice. I'll be honest, I'm glad I didn't cover those crusts in the end, which I didn't because I got carried away. Somebody came to visit. So, yeah, I think this is... I'm going to slice this and just see what Dan thinks of it. It's looking all right. Yep. Not too bad. Let's see. Let's put this to the test and see what the verdict is. You got to try the quiche. Homemade quiche.
Homemade.
Yeah, but it's not my usual recipe. What?
Haven't we got any Tesco quiche?
Just try. It's boiling. Be careful.
It doesn't look nice. Is there potato in it?
Just try
Is
it.
there potato in
No.
it? Well, it doesn't look nice then.
Why would there be potato in it?
Why does it look like a sponge cake?
Oh, it's been cooking for an hour. Over an hour. It's hot. You like quiche hot though, and I like it cold.
It's actually very nice.
Yeah? Marks out of 10?
7.
I wasn't too sure on the recipe.
It's the filling which isn't quite right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's edible. It's very nice.
It's edible.
I'll eat that.
It's edible. It's edible.